Hey everybody, welcome to episode 166 of Is This Thing Working? How you doing, Denise?
Oh, I am doing awesome today on this Thursday. The week is almost over, and it has been a crazy week, let me tell you.
We say this every week, and it just gets crazier and crazier.
That's going to get crazier before November 5th, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it was a Julie Kelly post. It was yesterday, and if you've been following Julie, you know, she's worked hard, man, on the reporting for the Jack Smith immunity case.
Oh, and every bit of the lawfare that's going on with President Trump. You follow her.
Exactly. And so after that ruling come out Monday morning, then I seen a deal on Tuesday where she had her a glass of wine poured there, and she was like, hey, I'm going to pour one out for Jack Smith, you know. And then yesterday she said this. She goes, I think it was her, but she goes, could the news just calm down for like 17 seconds? And that's the way I've felt this entire week. We sit here trying to gather up what we're going to do for a show, and we try to keep our shows at 30, you know, but man, we could do a long form, and I'm telling you, I don't know if we'd have the time enough to research everything that we could do, but we do the best, and we bring you signal, and that's what's important, is the signal, the things that are truly important, the things you need to look at and listen to and read between the lines, man, and listen to what they're telling you. I've said this a lot. Their accusations are always their confessions.
That's exactly right. And yesterday at the RNC, everyone knows the theme was Make America Strong Again, and it was an emotional day because the RNC did highlight Biden's failures on the world stage and how it has made America weak. And one thing that really caught me as I was watching it last night is how they pointed out, and no one mentions this very much, but they pointed out that Biden during the debate said no one had died during his
No military
watch.
members.
No military members had died during his watch. And that was a blow to so many Americans that lost people on his watch.
Yep. Biden has had so many failures throughout his 4 years, but I'm like you. I believe the Afghanistan withdrawal was, even if nobody had lost their lives, the Afghanistan withdrawal was one of his worst moments, the biggest gaffe or mistake that he ever made.
They keep pretending like it did not happen.
Yes, exactly. You know, and the thing I kept thinking about last night too, while the Gold Star families come out there too, I kept having visions in my head. You remember the planes flying away off the airport, and you remember the hundreds of people that were clinging to the plane to try to get out, and people were falling off of the wheels.
That's an image that you just cannot get out of your head once you've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely horrible what happened there.
The plane was literally coming off the ground, and people were falling off of it, and it was just...
So it was a lot more people that died that day.
Right.
But we are going to honor Americans and play the video.
Yeah, the video last night from Daniel Lopez's father, and it was really a touching moment. There were great speakers there last night. Almost everybody there last night was really great speakers.
Very emotional.
But here, this is the great thing about this, and we wanted y'all to hear it, ones that may not have watched the RNC last night. But Mr. Lopez here, he names all of the 13 soldiers that lost their lives that day at Abbey Gate. And it was really cool because every time that he would read a name, the crowd would cheer, and they would repeat the name out loud in unison back to him. And so it just started this thing, and for each name, it's really cool. Check this out, y'all.
And during last month's debate, he claimed no service members have died during his administration.
Hear the crowd? Yeah.
None. That hurt us all deeply. So Alicia and I are here to say the names of all 13 service members who lost their lives all 13 service members who lost their lives at Abbey Gate. David Espinoza. Nicole G. Taylor Hoover. Ryan C. Knaus. Riley McCollum. Dylan Marola.
Dylan Marola.
Yeah.
Kareem Nakui.
Green Nakui.
Dagan Page.
Dagan Page.
Johanny Pichardo.
Johanny Ricardo.
Humberto Sanchez.
Humberto Sanchez.
Jared Schmitz.
Jared Smith.
Maxton Sobiak.
Maxton Sobiak.
And my son, Hunter Lopez.
Hunter Lopez.
The cameras pan the crowd, and I'm telling you, from the first name, you could see people begin to break down, and you could begin to see people have tears in their eyes because they understand the sacrifices that these people were making so that we could continue to live in a free country, man. And it was awesome. It was so awesome.
And, you know, we pray every single day for these Gold Star families. They are to be treated and honored every single day. Someone should say their names. And you know what? Biden has not said their names out loud.
That's exactly why they came out and they uttered these names. They come out and they hollered these names because Biden had, you're right, because Biden hadn't said it. And another thing that was really neat, that was just that portion of it. I think the whole portion, because they brought speakers of these soldiers' families out to speak. And one of them was Nicole G's mother-in-law, and she come out and she talked about that, and she talked about when they met with President Trump and how they were only supposed to be there an hour, and he spent 6 hours with them. And she said that for the first time since that had happened, she felt like she wasn't alone. She said that President Trump was there with her. He was compassionate to her and her family. He was empathetic with her and her family, and he knew the members of her family. He already knew things about them, so he was ready to meet them because he understands, man.
And he loves our military.
Yes.
And you know what? Our military feels that love from him.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So we want to state that these are our opinions and our assertions. If you agree with us, man, you tell your friends and you share the show. And if you don't agree with us, man, you tell your friends and you share our show.
Also, make sure you stomp that like button and please follow or subscribe wherever you see the name Is This Thing Working? And download the podcast for wherever you want to listen to podcasts, like, for example, Apple or Spotify. We are on YouTube, but our main place to find us is on Rumble. So you can download that Rumble app so you can follow the show, and you will receive instant notifications when we go live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we want to mention one more thing. Check out our new Texas Brief, which comes out every Saturday, and we give a rundown of what happens during the week on Texas on Saturday.
We would like to welcome our new sponsor to Is This Thing Working? So help us welcome Cornbread Hemp. Their mission is to draw on Kentucky's 250-year legacy of growing hemp as well as the state's unique climate and soil, to manufacture the highest quality cannabis products available in America. They proudly offer full-spectrum, USDA organic CBD products with up to 2 milligrams of THC per serving. Their plants are grown in what's known as the Bluegrass Basin, which produces the highest quality hemp alongside the best bourbon and fastest racehorses. Cornbread Hemp is one of the very few, if not only, CBD brands in America who exclusively use the hemp flower to create their CBD extract, called Flower Only CBD, and they want the world to know. In a side-by-side comparison to a market leader, Cornbread Hemp checks all the boxes. They are USDA certified organic, flower only extracted, full spectrum, free of artificial colors and preservatives, and they are third-party lab tested.
Please check out Cornbread Hemp by going to cornbreadhemp.com right now for a 30% off your initial purchase of any products on the website. Again, go to cornbreadhemp.com and use promo code ITTW for this special offer. Remember, you get 30% off, promo code ITTW.
So, let's get on with the show. What's the first thing we do?
Bannon watch.
Yep.
Yes, sir. And 107 days left of prison life for Bannon. Man, I miss him so bad every single day. But I will tell you this. The War Room is still as strong as ever. Everyone is stepping up and taking the place and really giving the signal every single day. We got the signal yesterday. What was it? Victory over unity.
That's it, man.
That's right. You know, and today it's all about gangsters. It's all about government gangsters. But one thing that happened yesterday was Peter Navarro is free, and he showed out at the RNC last night with this fiery speech that brought the room to its feet. Listen to him.
Here's how it went. Here's how I got in prison. The legislative branch came for me first. Your favorite Democrat, Nancy Pelosi, created your favorite committee, the sham January 6th committee, which demanded that I violate executive privilege. What did I do? I refused. The J6 committee demanded that I betray Donald John Trump to save my own skin. I refused. Here's the thing about the Constitution. They demanded that I break the law because they have no respect for it. I refused. And a Democrat majority in the House then voted to hold me in contempt. All right, what happened next? The next jackboot to drop was the executive branch. Another one of your favorite Democrats, Democrat Attorney General Merrick Garland.
Signal.
Yes, sir.
There's a winner. Him and Jack Smith indicted and prosecuted me for criminal contempt of Congress. Now, here's what's weird about it. It's something that Democrat prosecutors refused to do against one of their own, including two guys with blood on their hands, Eric Holder and Alejandro Mayorkas, the great border czar, right? They've actually gotten people killed. For decades, the Department of Injustice right now, the Department of Justice policy stated, hear me out on this, if Congress slaps a subpoena on a senior White House advisor like me, the advisor's duty is to politely tell them to go pound sand. That's exactly what I did.
And one of the things that he said at the end, and I've seen some of the news, headlines at the bottom of the screen, and one of them that said on Rav last night, they said that Peter Navarro came out defiant, and he said, they threw me in prison, but they didn't break me. And the other thing that he said was, I went to prison so you people don't have to. If they'll do it to me, if they'll do it to Steve Bannon, if they'll do it to President Trump, they're coming after you. He said, we got to stop this. They didn't break me. And I'm glad to see Peter Navarro out. I'm glad to see his voice out here again. I'm glad to see everything about it because, like I said yesterday, Natalie Winters, Peter Navarro, these guys will bring you the signal. They'll bring you what is important because they understand the mind of Steve Bannon. They understand the mission of the War Room and the posse.
That's exactly right. And speaking of, and another one that we need to mention is Kash Patel.
Yes.
Kash Patel, tonight, Kash Patel wrote a book, Government Gangsters. Everyone needs to read this book. Order it on Amazon if that's where you choose to order it, or you can go to governmentgangsters.com. But tonight at the RNC, Steve Bannon, who produced The Government Gangsters, this movie will premiere. And so we want everyone to go right now to warrom.film and order this movie and watch it. I said, if you can't get the book and you're not a reader, if you're a visual learner like James is, we're going to push this out all day today. Because what do we say every single day? Be informed and become engaged. And today, when we ask the question, what is your task and purpose? It's to watch this film. Because this is going to tell you the signal. And this is going to tell you what's been going on behind the scenes from all of President Trump's witch hunts, all of his lawfare, how it became, and why. So it's very important. And that leads us straight into President Trump Watch. Now we're going to start out with him, with this very special speaker that spoke last night that was a surprise for him and for the whole room. And she brought the house down as well. And this is his granddaughter, Kai Trump. That's Don Jr.'s oldest daughter. So listen to her right now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kai Madison Trump. I am the granddaughter of Donald Trump. I'm speaking today to share the side of my grandpa that people don't often see. To me, he's just a normal grandpa. He gives us candy and soda when our parents aren't looking. He always wants to know how we're doing in school. When I made the high honor roll, he printed it out to show his friends how proud he was of me. I know. He calls me during the middle of the school day to ask how my golf game is going and tells me all about his. But then I have to remind him that I'm in school and I'll have to call him back later. When we play golf together, if I'm not on his team, he'll try to get inside of my head. I know. And he's always surprised that I don't let him get to me. But I have to remind him, I'm a Trump too.
Exactly.
Yes.
And she goes on even more. And it
and
was
tells
really
great stories about him. And that, it humanizes him. He doesn't want to bring his family inside the witch hunts, so he keeps them very protected. But after seeing what happened to him on Saturday, people need to know that he has a family as well. He has kids and grandkids who were watching that TV on that day. I mean, I can remember exactly what was happening, the exact moment. Me and James had just sat down, just turned the rally on. I know he had already been up there speaking for 10 minutes, but we had the TV on for 4 minutes. And we had just all sat down, and we have our grandkids here over the week. And they had just sat, and they're young, 8, 9, and 5. They're very young. And they had just sat down with us. And immediately it was like, boom. And I had to rush them out of the room but they did. Not all of them because we were just sitting down, but one saw what happened And that is traumatic to any, and it was the youngest one. It was a 5-year-old that did. And so I am mortified that this happened and that this could happen in America at a patriot rally that is full of love. It's still to this day, I cannot sleep well. It really does concern me. And what also concerns me and everyone else in America at this point, in one of the number one issues, is our border crime coming across. Fentanyl was talked about. A lot of the failed policies of the Biden administration, and the main one is the border. And there was a speaker last night who gave a very passionate speech on this. And everyone knows Tom Homan is very passionate about President Trump's policies on this and needs them returned soon. Listen to what he said here in a second.
Yeah, if you don't know who Tom Homan is, he was President Trump's Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director. He was the ICE director back during Trump's administration, and we all know that we had our border closed at that time. That was the most successful that we have ever been on controlling our border. And we know why the borders are out of control. Our government's involved in it. The Mexican drug cartels are involved in it. And just speculation, but it sure seems to me like the government and the Mexican cartels are working together to invade our country. Tom Homan, if you've ever watched Tom Homan, if you've ever seen him on news, and he comes on Fox News especially a lot, if you've ever watched him, Tom Homan pulls no punches, ever. Tom Homan speaks tough about the border each and every time. Like Denise said, this was a powerful speech, and this is what he had to say concerning those things.
As a guy who spent 34 years deporting illegal aliens, I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that Joe Biden's releasing our country in violation of federal law. You better start packing now. You're damn right. Because you're going home. I got another message to the criminal cartels in Mexico. You smuggled enough fentanyl across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done.
There you go. There you go, and that's my sentiments too. Tom Homan, I stand behind you 100%, and we're going to talk some probably tomorrow about who our cabinet picks, who me and Denise would love to see as cabinet picks, and I can guarantee you Tom Homan's in this list. Transform your business with Shopify, the leading e-commerce platform designed for all entrepreneurs of all levels. Shopify makes it easy to create a stunning online store with customizable templates and a user-friendly interface. Manage your inventory, process your payments, and track your sales, all from one seamless dashboard. With built-in search engine optimization and marketing tools, you can reach more customers and grow your business faster. Plus, Shopify's secure and reliable hosting ensures your site is always up and running, backed by 24/7 customer support. Join over 1 million businesses worldwide who trust Shopify to power their online stores. Start your free 14-day trial today at Shopify.com and see how easy it is to sell online, in-store, and everywhere in between. Take the next step toward e-commerce success with Shopify. Well, of all places for Kim Cheatle to show up instead of at a Judiciary Committee meeting or hearing where she should be to give an explanation of what happened last Saturday, she's at the RNC. And her excuse or reason was to be there was because I'm too busy. I've got to be here at the RNC. Well, that was probably her biggest mistake because all the other Republican senators that were there after all of this had happened, a lot of them are angry. A lot of them are coming out, people coming out of the woodworks that we ain't seen that are coming out for probably just a photo op. But at the same time, the message is loud and clear. So as Cheatle was walking through the convention yesterday, Marsha Blackburn got to tagging her and staying behind her. And so Cheatle done all she could to get away from her, man. But here it goes. Listen to this.
This is exactly what you were doing today on the call.
This was an assassination attempt. You owe the people answers. You owe President Trump answers.
Other people left across this plaza to the far corner.
Yeah, she run like a scalded dog, man.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Such a coward, man.
And you know, the thing is, what they pointed out also was that they all had a call, and the senators were asking questions about, you know, what was going on and what was happening. Well, they ended up hanging up on the senators.
Wow.
During this call because they didn't like their questions that they were asking.
Yeah, I heard about that, and they actually refused other people's questioning, other senators' questionings too.
Yeah, so Marsha Blackburn said, "Oh no, I'm going to catch the hen in the hen house right now and get the answers." And she came out, and I believe she says, "Okay, on Monday I will talk to you." But there has been so much speculation about what is going on
and what happened.
And people need to know transparency. Now, we have a video of Bongino from his show yesterday, and we want to play a small portion of it because he gives you signal as well. Here you go. Listen to him.
A high-level source reached out to me last night and said to me that the rooftop that the shooter engaged from, as I told you last night during the Tucker Carlson special and then on Don Jr.'s show, was actually supposed to be posted by a local police department or non-Secret Service counter sniper team. So we're clear on the facts. There were 2 counter sniper teams from the Secret Service, 2. Those 2 were assigned to the scene. That rooftop was obviously deemed a threat. It was a line of sight issue. So because they didn't have the assets, and I'll get to why in a few minutes, it involves Dr. Jill Biden, who has an extremely low threat level relative to Donald Trump. This is the breaking news. For some reason, that local police department, this is not about Monday morning quarterbacking, folks. Again, this is not a football game. These are people's lives. For some reason, that local tactical counter sniper team didn't make it to the roof. What I'm hearing from sources is that tactical team positioned it through a second floor window, which cedes the high ground. Now, I wish I wasn't breaking this on my show. The fact that nobody is comfortable talking to the media because they're such insider hacks, they're afraid they're all going to be exposed and they all have to come to me, candidly, folks, is a travesty. But think about what I just told you. For a second, everybody take a pause and a timeout. Think about the multiple security failures here and the lying. There was supposed to be a tactical CS team on that roof. They didn't make it to the roof. They chose a second floor window instead, which cedes the high ground, obviously, and nobody noticed. Nobody noticed that post, that CS post was unmanned. Nobody had any idea.
One thing I have to say about this, since this came out yesterday, there has been a lot more that has came out. We have found out that they knew that the shooter was there at 5:51. Now, President Trump did not go on stage until 6 o'clock.
6:11, matter of fact.
No, he was
that's
shot.
When it happened. That's right.
And he was shot at 6:11. So people knew already that there was someone on the roof. Not one person contacted him and told him not to get out of his car. Not one person. Also, another thing that we have found out is the local police, they are coming out strong against the Secret Service because they say they were only there for traffic duty.
Mm-hmm.
To move people in and out, and that was it. They didn't have anything to do with the perimeter. Whatever the Secret Service does is their job. That's not the local police's job.
Nope.
So people that continue to come out and blame the local police, you're off target there.
Exactly. And the other good point to bring up was 26 minutes passed, correct?
Correct.
Since the time that they knew he was there, they'd seen him with a rangefinder, they seen him with a gun, they seen him inside the staging area, which is this building. And also, if you remember, on day one, shortly after it happened, we had a statement from one of the counter snipers on the other roof who said nobody would give him authorization to fire.
Yeah, all of a sudden that's not out there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to that? They buried that so fast and so quick. It's totally amazing. I have a tweet here from Julie Kelly, and she really sums up this tremendously. And she says, so I have a little different take on this performance. The reason why Kim Cheatle is entrenched and non-responsive and hubristic is because the Senate GOP has done nothing, absolutely nothing, to rein in the out-of-control Biden regime. These same clowns have prioritized funding for Ukraine over holding the corrupt federal bureaucracy responsible. And she goes on to say, visit Ukraine? Check. Visit the D.C. Gulag? X. Cheap talk at hearings about accountability. No action even when they had control of the Senate.
Exactly. And the best point that she brought out about this was they have created arrogant, inept, defiant apparatchiks like Kim Cheatle. By dedicating their oversight duties, they've empowered the Kim Cheatles and Alejandro Mayorkases and the Merrick Garlands and the Chris Rays, to name a few. Even worse, in many cases, they protected them.
Yes.
That's exactly what's going on here.
And they paid for them. And they continued. I mean, I do know that in the House, they have tried to bring down these people's pay to $1. Mm-hmm. They've tried everything they can, but the Senate refuses to stand up against the Democrat oppression. And that's what it is.
Yes,
and
exactly
they
what it
bring
is.
them into these skiffs and they make them afraid. And it's the Democrats doing this to you. It's these people right here you have protected that you are believing what they're saying when they're lying to you in your face.
Couldn't said it no better.
Is this thing working?
Rise up. Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. You know, we couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there,
Denise.
And we'll see you next time.
We're out.